My name is Derek Randall. And if someone had told me 2 years ago that my marriage would crumble because of pizza deliveries, unpaid rent, and an entitled brother-in-law, I'd have laughed. But here I am, sitting alone in a one-bedroom apartment, finally breathing for the first time in 15 months. It all began when my wife, Sarah, let her brother, Kyle, move in temporarily after he lost his job at some vape shop in Boulder. I remember standing at the door that day, watching him drag in a duffel bag, a gaming console, and a smug grin that somehow reeked of arrogance and energy drinks. "Just for a few weeks, babe. He needs a place to crash," Sarah had said already. Making up the guest bed like it wasn't a big deal. Didn't argue then. Family helps family. It's what I was raised to believe. The problem was, Kyle's version of a few weeks stretched into months. And those months stretched into over a year. At first, I tolerated it. I figured he was just in a slump, like we all get sometimes. But while I was busting my back at the mechanic shop doing 10-hour shifts 6 days a week, Kyle was lounging on my couch, eating the groceries I paid for, streaming anime on the 75-inch TV I bought, and running up our utility bills. He didn't even pretend to look for work after the first 2 months. Every week I came home hoping something had changed, maybe a job interview, a callback, even a shift at a gas station, but no. All I ever saw was Kyle in pajama pants and headphones yelling at 14-year-olds on Fortnite. Worse than that, Sarah encouraged it. She'd laugh at his jokes, order food for the both of them, and leave the fridge empty by the time I got home. At first I thought maybe I was imagining things, maybe I was just tired, but the more I watched, the more obvious it became. They had their own little world, and I was just the one paying for it. I tried to bring it up gently, mentioning how tight things were getting, how the bills were rising, how my credit card balances were creeping up. Sarah always brushed it off with a, "We're fine," or "You worry too much," so I waited. I waited for the right time to bring it all into the light. That moment came on a Sunday evening. I had just finished a brutal 14-hour shift and dragged myself through the door. My boots were soaked. My back felt like it was welded to steel, and all I wanted was a hot shower and a cold beer. Instead, I walked into the living room and saw Kyle sprawled across the couch, shirtless, controller in hand, slurping down soda, and Sarah next to him, laughing at some meme he showed her. The sight of it snapped something in me. "We need to talk," I said, standing there with my arms crossed. They both looked up, surprised I was even speaking. "I'm serious," I continued. "The bills are out of control. Spending more than we're bringing in. Groceries, Wi-Fi, electricity, all of it's gone up. And Kyle," I turned to him, "you've been here over a year. It's time you start contributing or find another place." The room went silent. I thought I was being calm, reasonable even, but Sarah's expression turned cold instantly. "How dare you talk to my brother like that?" she snapped. "He's doing his best." "Is he?" I asked. "Because I haven't seen a single job application. I haven't heard about one interview." Kyle just shrugged and muttered, "It's tough out there, bro." That's when Sarah said it. The sentence that changed everything. "Maybe if you made more money, we wouldn't be in this situation." I froze. Not because of the insult, but because in that moment, I realized she didn't see me as a partner anymore. I was a bank. It was a burden when I wasn't handing over money. There was no use arguing, no need to defend myself. I just nodded and walked into our bedroom, closed the door, and stared at the wall for hours. That night I started my plan. The kind of plan you build in silence, brick by brick. New bank account at a different institution and rerouted my direct deposit. I canceled the joint credit card and ordered a new one in my name only. I created a spreadsheet of every account, every expense, every subscription. Over the next few weeks, I started moving my personal things to a storage unit I rented under a fake name. I told Sarah I was donating stuff to clear the garage. She didn't even ask what. Then I called the landlord. Our lease was up in 45 days. She hadn't renewed it yet only. I had signed the paperwork last time, I told the landlord I wouldn't be renewing and made sure the utilities were all either shut off or transferred to her name. Quietly, carefully, I unwound myself from the life I had built. 30 days later, while Sarah and Kyle were out shopping with what little was left on our shared debit card, I left. I didn't yell. I didn't leave dramatic voicemails or make a scene. I just took my remaining belongings, locked the door, and slid a note under her makeup mirror. You said I didn't make enough. Now let's see how you do without me. Rent's due next week. Internet is canceled. Kyle, I hope. DoorDash is hiring. I blocked their numbers, changed my email, moved into a one-bedroom apartment across town, and never looked back. It took Sarah 3 days to find me through mutual friends, of course. She emailed me begging for a meeting. She said she was sorry that things had gotten out of hand, that she missed the man who always took care of her. I didn't respond. Instead, I posted a picture of me hiking, smiling, free of the chaos. For the first time in over a year, I felt peace. My friends, who had quietly watched the dysfunction unfold, finally spoke up. We were wondering when you'd get out, one of them said. We saw what was happening. It wasn't right. Last I heard, Kyle moved back in with their mom. Sarah tried to make rent on her own for 2 months before she had to sell most of the furniture. She took on a second job nights at a diner just to keep up. I heard all this through the grapevine, but I didn't say anything. I didn't gloat, didn't send a text. Because the truth is, the best revenge wasn't a fiery confrontation or a screaming match. It was calm, it was quiet. It was showing them exactly how much I had been holding together and how quickly it all fell apart without me.